My only disagreement with this, and I already know it's going to get a lot of backlash, you're going to have people saying, oh, Matt's being biased, is I don't agree with Alabama at number 10. This is going to upset a lot of people where I'm putting Bama, but I firmly believe that's where this should be. So with that being said, let me show you my top 10. Okay, so the new rankings came out, and obviously this is a big deal because we're going to have some movement. Number 1, Alabama lost. Where are they going to wind up? And number 2, Texas won. And also at Tennessee not looking so good. I originally had them in my top 25. Not my top 25, my bad. My top 5, they're definitely going down. I think most of y'all know how we do this. If not, I'll break it down to you. It's relatively simple. We're going to take a look at the real AP top 25 rankings. We're going to look at them, talk about them, and then I'm going to show you guys my personal top 10 list. In the offseason, every single one of you told me, Matt, you need to come out with your own list, your own ranking after they release theirs, and that's what we're going to do every single week. And I ask you guys, do you want to see my top 25 or just the top 10? Because 25, it can be a little boring and too much, and everybody voted on just the top 10, so that's what we're going to do. The premise of this video is as simple as that. Can't dumb it down anymore, but real quick, if you're new to the channel or simply been watching and you're not subscribed, because I do that all the time with some of my favorite channels, consider subscribing. We are so close. We're less than 10,000 subscribers away from 300K. Well, we're not really close, but you get what I'm saying. We're on the final push. If you do like college football content and want to join our community, that'd be awesome. We'd love to have you here. If not, that's cool too. Let's get straight into this. Let me pull it up. I haven't looked at this. I glanced at it. I saw Georgia still number 1, but outside of that, I already forgot where they had Texas. Okay, got it right here. You know how we do things. We're going to start with 25, skim our way up to about 11, 10, and then we're really going to talk about this. 25, well, what do you know? They put Iowa back in there, which shouldn't happen. They're overrated, but hey, it is what it is. I see we got some new faces. 23, Washington State. I like that. And by the way, I picked them to beat Wisconsin. I want to make that clear because I've been missing a lot of picks, but I got that one right. And also, we got Miami. They beat A&M. They jump up to 22. I'm cool with that. Duke at 21, and then 20 through 16. Okay, we got North Carolina, Oklahoma. They dropped, didn't they? Weren't they at 18? I think they were. And there we go. Oh, here we go. Colorado and Coach Prime Time jumping up to 18. I think that's a good spot. They were really impressive in that Nebraska game. They didn't just win it. They blew them out. That's got to account for something, right? I got no problem with them at 18. At 17, we got the Lane Train and Ole Miss. They're coming off a top 25 win as well. I'm cool with that. And at 16, we got Oregon State. 15 through 11, we got K-State, LSU. Not too much movement. Yeah, really no movement whatsoever. We got Tennessee at 11. I will say this, though. Oregon was extremely underwhelming in that Texas Tech game. Didn't look like a top 10 team, so I am content with them at number 13 as well. But here we go. What you really clicked onto this video for, the top 10. Woo, 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 woo. Let's get into it. So obviously, Alabama's in the top 10. And taking a look at it right here. Yep, here we go. Alabama. They put them at number 10. I personally disagree with this, and I'll explain my reasoning for that in just a second. 9, we got Notre Dame. At 8, we got Washington. 7, Penn State. And 6, we got little bro Ohio State. Okay, so Ohio State, they fell back. Dang, that's crazy. Ohio State started the season at number 3, and they're all the way back now at number 6. Wow. That's interesting. At number 5, we got USC and Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley. At number 4, there we go. We got the Longhorn Nation. Hey, is Texas back? I don't know. That's a different video for a different day. At number 3, we got the Cinnamon Rolls. Hey, clap it up for the Cinnamon Rolls. Top 3 ranking. At number 2, we got Michigan. And number 1, we got Georgia. My first thoughts to this, really looking at this list, not bad at all. Normally when I react to these AP polls, I completely lose my mind and go on a rant and tangent. I really don't have any problems with this. I like Colorado in the top 20. I think 25 through really number 1 is pretty solid. My only disagreement with this, and I already know it's going to get a lot of backlash, you're going to have people saying, oh, Matt's being biased, is I don't agree with Alabama at number 10. And I already know what everybody's saying. Well, Matt, if you disagree with where Alabama's at number 10, where would you put them? This is going to upset a lot of people where I'm putting Bama, but I firmly believe that's where they should be. So with that being said, let me show you my top 10. I tweeted it out last night. If you don't follow me on Twitter and you want some updates, go shoot me a follow. At number 10, I got the Washington Huskies. I like them. They're growing on me. At number 9, this is a team I'm giving a lot of credit to, and I'm telling you, keep your eyes on them. Don't sleep on them. Notre Dame. Who would have ever thought in a million years I'd ever be talking highly of Notre Dame? Not me. Granted, I know it's only been 2 weeks, but I'm liking what I see. And I've rarely ever said that about a Notre Dame team. There's just something about him. Marcus Freeman, he's got these guys playing winning football, and that's what I love. Defense looks good, offense looks good, and I think the X factor for Notre Dame is Sam Hartman. They finally got a real deal legit quarterback. That dude can play. At number 8, I got the Nittany Lions, Penn State. At number 7, I got Ohio, Little Bro State, and as always, I'll explain all this in just a second. At number 6, I know it's controversial, but I got Alabama. Now, before we go any farther with this list, let me explain. Hold on, Timothy. I know you run to the comment section. Matt's a complete idiot, blah, blah. Hold on, Timothy. Hear me out. That's all I'm asking. Hear me out. Let me explain myself. And after I explain myself, if you still disagree, that's fine. Then you can write your comment. I did this last year at Tennessee and Georgia. Y'all remember that Tennessee-Georgia matchup? What was Tennessee ranked? Number 1. Where was Georgia ranked? Weren't they like number 3 or 4, something like that? Or maybe Georgia was 2. I can't remember. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'm curious. Okay, yeah, I was right. When Tennessee played Georgia last year, Tennessee was number 1 and Georgia was number 3. And guess what? In that game, Tennessee lost to Georgia 27-13. And when I came out with my new rankings, I still had Tennessee in the top 4. And everybody's like, well, Matt, how do you have Tennessee in the top 4 if they lost to Georgia? Because of this. And I hate how these AP poll voters do this. It doesn't make sense for me. Okay, so if heading into the game you say Georgia's the 3rd best team in the country, it doesn't make sense for me for you to de-rank Tennessee past number 3. Because what's so bad about losing to what you're labeling as the 3rd best team in the country? You see what I'm saying? Now, if Tennessee were to lose to a 18th ranked team and you drop them a ton, I get it. But if you lose to the 3rd best team in the country, I'm not putting you any farther behind them. You see what I'm saying? You know what? Let me give you a better example so you can understand this. I currently have Georgia number 1 and Michigan number 2. And if Michigan played Georgia tomorrow and lost, I don't care if they lost by 10 points or 20 points, I'm still putting Michigan at number 2. You know why? Because I had Georgia at number 1 heading into that ball game. So yes, I think Georgia's better than Michigan. It's the same thing. I got Washington at 10. You see right here. If Washington played Georgia tomorrow and lost, I don't care. Washington's still number 10 for me. I have Georgia number 1 team for a reason. I think they're the best. So if a team plays them and loses, no, I'm not changing the ranking. Let me just show you the rest of my top 5 before I go on this rant tangent. At number 5, ahead of Alabama, I have USC. Love them, everything about them. I can count on the offense, the defense. Yeah, they're not very good, but they don't need to be. It's as simple as that. You know the argument for USC. At number 4, I got the Florida State Cinnamon Rolls. And obviously, you know who's after Florida State. I got Big Bad Texas at number 3. 2, I got Michigan, number 1, Georgia. You know they're not moving. Timothy, hold your horses. Let me explain yet again. I have Texas at number 3 for this reason. They got the best win of the year. They went into Bryant-Denny Stadium, which, let me remind you, is a hard place to play at. The last time Alabama lost at home was in 2019 to Joe Burrow and LSU. And Texas went in there and won that game convincingly. Texas has the best win of the year. It's not even that close, and they look like a really great team. And this is only after 2 weeks. I think Texas deserves its number 3 ranking. Now, as far as it goes for Alabama at number 6, let me explain. When people talk about Alabama, it's so funny to me because they never give credit to the opposing team. They just assume when Alabama loses, Alabama's falling off and the dynasty's over. And I made a video last night talking about I do think our legendary run of winning all these championships, it probably is coming to an end. But how about we do this, guys? How about we actually realize Alabama played a great football team on Saturday night? Are we just going to ignore the fact that Alabama played a top 5 team in the country? Whether it's my rankings or the AP rankings. AP's got them at 4, right? I got them at 3. Rather less, Texas is a top 5 team in the country. It's not like Alabama lost to Chattanooga State Water Aquarium Community College, guys. They lost to Texas. Texas has an elite quarterback, a good head coach, and 4- and 5-star recruits running all over the field. They're a good ball team, and Alabama lost to them. So if I have Texas at number 3, I don't think that's a bad loss. And that's just me personally. If you honestly believe Alabama losing to Texas is a bad loss, that's your own opinion. I don't think it is. So for me, if I got Texas as a top 3 team, I'm not going to drop Alabama that far down. That's just my thinking, and it also comes down to this. This is how I look at it when it gets to the top 5 and top 10 teams. Right now, if I looked at these 5 teams ahead of Alabama, and Alabama had to play them tomorrow, who would I pick to win? And right now, I'd pick all these 5 teams, USC, the Cinnamon Rolls, Texas, Michigan, and Georgia, to beat Alabama. On the contrary, these 4 teams behind them, Little Bro State, Penn State, Notre Dame, and Washington, if Alabama played them tomorrow, I'd pick Alabama to win. It's as simple as that. Alabama plays Ohio State tomorrow, I'm picking Bama. So therefore, I put Alabama at 6 and Little Bro State at 7. Same thing for Penn State, Notre Dame, and Washington. And all these people that, I know Alabama, most people's got them at 10, 11, and 12. You genuinely believe, this is my question, you would pick Penn State to beat Alabama tomorrow? Would you? No, you wouldn't. You may say it in the comment section, but you know dang well, if you had to bet your car, you had to bet your house on Penn freaking State and Alabama playing tomorrow night, you know you're picking Alabama. You know you are. And it's the same thing for Washington, and it's the same thing for Notre Dame. If Alabama played Notre Dame and Washington tomorrow night, and you had to bet all the money in the world on it, every single dime you had, you're putting your money on Nick Saban and Alabama. Don't lie. It's okay to admit you pick Alabama. It's fine. Now, if Alabama played Ohio State tomorrow, I think that'd be split down the middle. I think maybe Ohio State could even be favored in that game. Who knows? But as far as it goes for putting Alabama at 10, 11, and 12, that's just ridiculous, man. It really is. And also on this list, I need to address this. I previously had Tennessee in my top 5, and I don't even have them in the top 10. I got them at number 11. I dropped them out because of that piss poor performance against Austin Peay. That doesn't mean Tennessee can't jump back in there. They probably will if they do beat Florida in this up-and-coming week. I can't get with these people ranking Alabama behind Washington and Notre Dame and Penn State, because you wouldn't pick them to beat Alabama. You wouldn't. And if you want to pick them to beat them, they shouldn't be ranked ahead of them. This is how the AP poll voters work. If a team loses, oh, yeah, I guess we got to drop them. You don't actually rank the teams according to how good you think they are and where they should be. You rank them because of what should or what you think should happen. Oh, if a team wins, they should go up. If a team loses, they should automatically go down. I don't believe that. If Ohio State lost to Texas tomorrow, I wouldn't drop Ohio State in the rankings because I got Texas ranked higher than them. And the worst part about this is everybody's going to sit up here and say, oh, Matt's being biased. This is Alabama bias, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. If you were watching the channel last year, you know I did the same thing with Tennessee, and I got a ton of backlash for that. The only difference is people couldn't say I had bias. They were just like, oh, yeah, Matt's being stupid and crazy. You lose to a good team in my eyes, I'm not de-ranking you that much, unless I really think you're a bad football team. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I could sit up here and talk about these rankings all day long, and at the end of the day, we're only 2 weeks in. This is all going to settle itself out in a couple of weeks. For me, at least, my rankings change so much week by week. Like I said, I had Tennessee in the top 5 last week, and now they're not even in the top 10, and they won. I'm content with my rankings. I know a lot of you won't be. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, though. But